Hey everyone, it's Kim here. Welcome to my channel, Never Too Late. I can't talk today. I'm here today with a Ship With Me video. It is Tuesday, September the 30th of 2025, and I just had some interesting sales. One particular vintage, it'll be the last thing, vintage coat that I just am madly in love with. So anyway, I thought I would just do a real quick Ship With Me. I will go through and show you the item and tell you a little bit about it. So we're going to go backwards from what sold recently. This will be from yesterday afternoon, like mid-afternoon. I packed everything up and went to the post office. So this will be what came in after that last night. And then I think I have had 3 orders today so far. And it's almost 2 o'clock. So kind of midday again. A little after midday. Okay, so the first thing, this came in on Depop, and this is not the best sale of the day. This came in on Depop. It is a little black lace bralette, and I did buy this at that Goodwill grand opening. I'm not sure if this was in the first part of the haul that I already put out or the second part that will be going out later this week. But I probably should not have picked this up. It in itself was very inexpensive, but I did an average cost of goods, and so the average cost of goods ended up being $5.30. Here it is. It is just a little black lace, completely sheer bralette with these cute little bows, adjustable straps, and it is an extra large and a little bit of a longer line. Really cute, really perfect shape. Looks like it's never been worn. But it sold on Depop for not very much. I took an offer of $10. It was only listed 4 days. Someone offered me $10. I really probably wasn't getting much more than that because it is not that substantial. Like I said, probably shouldn't have picked it up, but it was really cute and like new. And I knew it would sell and make me a little bit of profit. So my fees were $1.80 because it was boosted on Depop. And then, like I said, my cost of goods were $5.30. That was the average for that trip, so not the best. I think I went to the laundry aisle early and didn't realize I was going to get as much higher priced things as I did, and I thought it would average out lower. But whatever, no regrets. I made $2.90, so I only made $3, but like little things like bralettes take about 5 seconds to list and take pictures of. I mean, they're very fast, and like I said, it sold in, what did I say, 4 days, so not a big deal. Okay, so that was that one. Next is a dress from the brand Pact, and I had never found Pact before, and I think I got this in a Whatnot sale, and I was very excited. But we're not in the right season. It is a tank dress. It was like a midi tank dress, but I'm just going to show you. It is this brown kind of color with black tie-dye. So it was very, not necessarily the best print. And also seasonally, well, the coloring is good for the season. Tie-dye is not the quickest seller. And it is a tank dress. So I did take a lower offer on this. Someone on Poshmark offered me $20. And honestly, she offered me the $20 about 4 times. And I finally just was like, you know what? It's a tank dress. It's sleeveless. It probably would sell for more if I waited all summer. But do I really want to wait all winter and wait to get to summer again? So it was only listed 11 days, and so I sold it for $20 on Poshmark with a $4 fee. I average on most of the buys that I do on Whatnot, I average to about $5. And let me say that all of these shows, the Whatnot shows I purchase from, are friends who are also resellers. So I haven't had luck with random shows. I've gotten damaged things, and I won't do that. So I will do it with people that I trust, that I know kind of what I'll be getting. So, I ended up making $11, and right now I'm trying to keep a profit of $10 or more, so that does fit right in there. So not bad, and like I said, it was a quick sale, 11 days, quick turnover for a $10, $11 profit. I'm fine. Moving things in and out is my whole biggest goal. Okay, next, and this one my older things are not in my new inventory bag, so this is kind of interesting because I have had, it is a little adorable little plaid pleated mini skirt. It zips on the side. It is new with tags from the brand Romwe, R-O-M-W-E. Not a no, it's probably like a fast fashion brand, but I got this, I believe, let's see. I got this at the Benz. So I paid $1 for it at the Benz. So this is probably the third little plaid type mini skirt that I have sold in the past couple of weeks. I think I only had 3 of them, maybe. I might have one more if that, but I've sold like 3 of them. So definitely a good time of year for these. I did, once again, I kind of took a lower offer because I got it at the bins for $1, and also mini skirts, they're not the fastest seller. You know, your midi skirts and maxi skirts do much better. But when I find something like that at the bins, I'm gonna pick it up because I know someone will want it. This took 42 days to sell, and I believe that is 42 days after being relisted because I have not been to the bins in quite a while. So it sold on eBay for $13.59. My fees were $2.87. So after I pay the shipping, it'll be about a $10 profit. So once again, I'm in that range that I kind of want to be in. So I'm not mad about it. It wasn't a quick sale, but I also listed it off season for the colors, for the plaid. You know, that kind of thing is really, that dark academia really hits a little bit more in the fall. All right, so only 3 more, because I don't make that many sales on average during the week. Sometimes I can have as much as 10 or 11, but usually it's like maybe 4 to 6, 4 to 7, something like that. Okay, so the next is Beyond Yoga. It is a Beyond Yoga Space Dye Inspire midi dress in heathered blue. And this one was a size small, and I did find this at a local thrift store when they were having a 50% off, and I bought 3 of them that were they were all together, different colors, exact same dress, same size, everything, and they were in really, really nice shape. So here's the Beyond Yoga little, can you see it through the plastic? Here it is, the symbol, whoops, right there. It kind of looks like a little lotus flower. And this is the color. It's kind of like a blue with almost like a black feathering in it. It was a midi dress, I think it was like a v-neck, and it had a big slit, kind of bodycon. So it's kind of like that athletic wear, casual midi dress. You could wear it out, but very comfortable. And these were really popular. Now this is another thing that I got off season. So had I waited until the spring, summer, I could probably have sold it for more. But as I said, I am happy to take a decent offer and move things along when I can. So it sold on Poshmark for $31. And my fees, I did have shipping. I did do a shipping discount, so my fees, including the shipping discount, were $7.70. I paid $3. My average goods for that trip was $3.26. So I will make a profit of $20.04. So that's not bad, and it was not listed that long. It was listed 12 days. So that one was listed 12 days. I do have 2 more. I have like a maroon red kind of color, more of a raspberry color, and then I have a lighter blue one, kind of almost a light turquoise blue. But that one did sell. I'm happy with the $31 in 12 days, $20 profit. I mean, I'm not going to be mad about that. Okay, next we have, and this is just a very simple thing. Once again, something that I wouldn't pick up in the regular thrift store, but I would pick up at the Benz or at a yard sale or something where I'm getting a lower cost of goods. This was the brand Route 66. It was a denim short sleeve top in a size 18W, a button up, just denim top, basically. So here it is. So yeah, basically just a denim top. It does have breast pockets. So, and Route 66 is not a bad brand, not a great brand. So I wasn't expecting a lot out of it, but I will pick up denim shirts at the bins pretty much every time, because if they're in good shape, because they do sell. Sometimes they sit for a while, but they do sell. This one was listed for 24 days. So once again, I'm flipping it within a month. Now, I didn't buy it that recently, but it's been kind of in my pile of just kind of waiting to be listed. And it finally moved to the front, and we got it listed. So it was listed for 24 days. I accepted an offer. I think this is on Depop. Yeah, I accepted an offer on Depop for $12. My fees were $1.10, so the cost of goods was $1, so I made $9.90. So once again, I'm hitting right at that $10 minimum mark that I want to hit. Now, I'm hoping that I'm going to get that minimum mark raised up as we go, as I kind of try to, move out the lower selling things and get more, start thrifting, more of the, more popular brands and more popular styles and stuff. So, but I will probably always have some of the stuff that I pick up at the bins just because it's in great shape. And I know that someone will want it, and I don't want it to end up in the landfill. So bins, yard sales, that kind of stuff where I've got a really low cost of goods, I'm always going to have some of that in my shop, is the moral of the story. That's probably never going to change, because I do care about, that circular economy. I do care about moving clothes to new people to wear them when they're good clothing, rather than having them in the landfill. And even a lot of people say, well, they ship them overseas. They ship them overseas a lot of times to a landfill overseas. So just because it's going overseas does not mean that it's still not going in a landfill. It just means it's not going to a landfill here. So keeping those clothes in circulation, moving, is really important to me, and it's a really important part of why I do this and part of my business. So I will always be that person that's picking up things that I know probably aren't going to sell for a lot, but I know they've got life in them. I know they're things that people will want, and I just want to save them. So always going to be a part of my business. All right, last is my favorite. I found this in the bins, and I picked it up, and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. It is the most gorgeous vintage coat. I think it is just stunning. If it was my size, I absolutely would have kept it. Unfortunately, they're never my size. So I'm going to show you in a minute. I have it in a garment bag because I'm starting to keep things that are bigger, coats, jackets, and the big dresses and the dresses that are fancier in garment bags in my closet upstairs in my guest room. So this one is in a garment bag, but I paid $1 at the bins because I do average my cost of goods there as well. I accepted an offer. I did have it listed higher, but I accepted an offer. It sold in 6 days. So 6 days of it being listed, someone offered me $45, and I decided to accept that offer because could I have sold it for more? Probably at some point. But when you're dealing with vintage and kind of things that are a little more specialized, I find in my personal experience, and for me, and it's not the same for everyone, but for me, the times I haven't accepted offers that were good offers, not exactly as high as I was hoping, but good offers, I sit on it for a long, long time, and then I really regret not taking the offer. So I took this offer. I thought $45 for something I paid $1 for was more than enough profit ratio for me. And with the vintage stuff too, I just want it out there, back in circulation, someone wearing it. It's not doing any good sitting in my closet. Someone wearing this jacket needs to be worn because it's gorgeous. It just needs to be out. It needs to be out in the world. So anyway, I accepted the $45 offer. I was actually really excited about it. My fees were $6.64. It was not promoted on eBay. I had $1 expense. So I'm trying to look at the shipping. my profit will probably be somewhere between $36 and $40, depending on exactly how much the shipping is. And I will actually weigh it out once I package it up and everything and just make sure I have the shipping right. When I'm guesstimating the shipping, I always add a couple of ounces to, you know, the weight by itself, just because I know that with packaging, and sometimes you end up putting something in a box, you just need a little leeway. So, I'm usually very close though. But anyway. So anywhere between $36 and $40, I think, will be my profit once I actually put in the correct shipping amount. So anyway, even if it's $36 profit for something that I bought in the bins, got at the bins, that I just felt so privileged to find, honestly. Finding some of the gorgeous vintage stuff just is such an honor to me. I love it. You know, I'm just ecstatic, but enough. Let me show you. Let me take this out and show you, because I think it's stunning. I'm curious. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think this is stunning, or are you just like, I don't see it? I don't know. We all have different tastes, but I thought it was stunning. I'm going to move the camera back just a tad so I can hold this up here. Sorry about the shaky. Okay, so here it is. The brand is Three Sisters, and it was a size large, but not a large that would fit me. But look at this. It is houndstooth, belted, kind of like a midi length. It will cover your bottom a little bit. This gorgeous, like, cream and black, like, oversized houndstooth. And then look at the piping. The piping is all around the, it's all around the collar. It's all down the front, goes down the front, and it is just gorgeous. It's lined in the red satin. It does have pockets, side pockets, also lined in the red satin. And then the buttons, the buttons are just my favorite part. Look at the buttons. Aren't these gorgeous? Here we go. They are this absolutely beautiful gold button with the red rhinestones. And, you know, look at the condition. The condition is great. There's no issues with any tears in the lining. Because a lot of times what you'll find when you find the vintage coats is you'll find rips in the lining inside. And I have actually sold a vintage coat before that did have extensive ripping in the lining, because it was so beautiful. I sold it obviously for a lot less, but I knew that there would be someone that would either want to invest in replacing the lining or would just take the lining out and wear it without the lining, because it was still good on the outside. It was just the lining that was the issue. So I will pick up vintage coats like this that are, you know, have something special about them whenever I see them, even if the lining is ripped. Now, if there's a big rip on the outside, that's a different story. But anyway, gorgeous vintage. I hope whoever bought that just loves it and gets all of the compliments, because if I saw someone walking down the street with that coat, I'd be like, your coat's gorgeous. I am that person that will stop people and go, I love your shoes. So anyway, like I said, let me know. Let me know what you think about the coat and anything else. I know you probably, some people that would say you should have gotten more for or whatever, but you know, my business model is changing and it's flexible right now. So who knows a year from now what it will be. But for right now, I'm happy when I can make a 10% profit or make some profit quickly on things that I pay less for, but move quickly. All right, if you have not subscribed and you enjoy reselling content or just enjoy hanging out with me, please consider subscribing. I do appreciate everyone who has joined my little community, and I will be putting out more videos. I am not going to take a break again like I did a couple of times. My life is, I feel like I'm going at a good pace and I can handle more things thrown in right now. But anyway, I will have a part 2 of my grand opening of a Goodwill thrift haul coming out later this week, and then I'll have some more for you next week. But I'm not sure what. I do have a couple of hauls that I'm thinking about filming, or I might just do a what's sitting on my rack waiting to be photographed. I I might do, I do have a thrift haul from a Whatnot show. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a surprise next week. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment and a thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithm. And because I took so much time off, I'm lucky if I get 100 views. So, you know, any help with the algorithm is much appreciated. And, you know, remember that it's never too late. You know, it's just never too late to find what you're passionate about. I know I've said this before, but recently for me, I'm just so passionate. I'm passionate about, you know, putting clothes that might end up in the landfill back into the world, back into be enjoyed. I'm, you know, passionate about saving the vintage stuff that was, you know, clothes were so well made back in the day, and they're just not made that well in most brands these days. And even if you look at like mall brands, if you look like in the 90s and the 80s, how well they were made compared to now, it's night and day. It's just a night and day. So getting that older stuff back into circulation that is so, you know, high quality and so interesting and unique and fun, I'm just passionate about that as well. I mean, honestly, if I'm in a bad mood, I could just come down and look at the clothes that I have to photograph and list, and it fills me with such joy. So I don't know what that might be for you, but it's never too late to find it, because I've only been doing this a year and I am pushing 60. It's getting closer. So it's just not too late. No matter how old you are, you can find, or young. You don't have to wait as long as I did to find that thing that just makes you passionate. It doesn't have to be something that you do to get paid or for money, or it can just be something that just brings you joy for a hobby. It could be, I don't know, painting. It could be hiking. It could be any number of things. So it could be volunteering. There's just so much out there in the world. Find what you love and make time for it, because it's important. It fills your soul back up, you know? I mean, I think we live in a world right now where it's pretty easy to feel a little bit beaten down, you know, when you look at the news or social media. So find those things that can just kind of lift you back up again, and make time for them, because it's important. You know, we all need to navigate, but also find a way to keep ourselves moving and ourselves fulfilled, as hard as that is. Okay. Enough of that. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, weekend, whenever you're watching. And I will see you all. Where's my remote? Every time. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.